Hello and welcome. I am Pink Girl Teaches, and thank you so much for coming back to my channel. This is where we talk about all things pertaining to narcissistic abuse as well as recovery. If it's your first time, welcome. And if you're coming back, well, hey, it's good to see you again. Thank you so much for coming. So, listen, if you find anything that I say interesting, feel free to hit like, subscribe, share. And jump in the comments so we can talk about this some more together. So, the question that I'm answering today is, how do narcissists act when they have a new supply while they're in a relationship? So, in other words, how do they act when they're cheating on you? Like, one thing, I say all the time is that the narcissist is a pathological liar and a pathological cheater. Another way to look at it to help make it make sense is that they're compulsive liars, they're obsessive liars and cheaters. That's in their makeup. That's part of their personal constitution. So we can't expect anything that would resemble integrity to come out of them because guess what? It doesn't reside there. So they're lifelong players, and you are not the first person that they're going to cheat on, and you're not about to be the last person either. They've been playing games all their lives and they've worked hard to perfect that game. So, sometimes it'll take a while for you to catch on, and sometimes you really don't until the very end. Like I say, like when it happened to me, I didn't realize until after, till after I broke up with him, that this is what had been happening the whole time. But one thing that they do is like they'll ignore your messages, and that's a sign. Why are you ignoring? Because any other time they want your attention, they want to they want that supply that you give them, and so they don't have time for you. They're not going to answer their phone calls, and they may wait a long time. They'll go prolonged hours, sometimes even days, but before they answer your text messages. And this even goes for your phone calls. They won't pick it up. Sometimes they'll just send you straight to voicemail. And this is also where that block game comes in. And they may act like they're upset at you about something, but really they're just buying time so that they can be with their new supply, so that they can put all their energy into that new supply. And this is where it's kind of twisted again, is because while they're doing that and they're deriving supply from that new source, they're also deriving supply from you, knowing that you're trying to get in touch with them, knowing that you keep calling and leaving text messages. And so they feel like they're in demand. They feel like they're of value. They feel like you can't get enough of them. And so that makes them feel great about themselves while they're obtaining supply from their new source. So it's kind of crazy, but that's who they are. And another thing is that they'll stop making plans for you. You may see, like, they used to be talk about us. I can't wait until I'm looking forward to, taking this trip with you. And, there will be talks for the future. All of that stops when they have a new supply. All of it stops. They're going to now be lying to you more about where they are, what they're doing. And sometimes it can take something as simple as asking them, hey, what time are you coming home tonight? And they'll get mad at you, like, who are you to question me? And why are you questioning me? And then they'll just say, and you can answer something like, well, I'm just trying to know what time to have dinner ready by the time, for when you come home. And they're going to get mad at you. They'll find a reason to get mad at you and then project all that guilt and frustration onto you, make you feel like you're the crazy person. This is that crazy making for asking questions like this that you've been asking the whole time you've been in a relationship. They don't want to feel that, you're trying to get any control over their day, over their time, over their agenda. It's not open for you. This is about them. It's got nothing to do with you. So, and when you start asking them questions and putting demands on them, it makes them paranoid, because in their minds, they're trying to figure out, well, what does he know? What does she know? Why is she asking all these questions? Why does he keep trying to, figure out what I'm doing with myself and my time? Like, they become paranoid. And so they can actually just lose it. And this is where, like, when you have those that are violent, you may see those violent tendencies come out about now. And so if you are with somebody who's violent, violence is never okay. And it's never the answer. You don't have to stay in those situations. I encourage you to find out, have a plan. If you can't leave right now, have a plan. Know the number that you need to call for shelters or, accommodation, help in your area. Also have a kit ready to go, like whether it's clothes, toys for the kids, just something that you can grab and go, as well as have people in your circle who you can trust, who know where you are and know what you're going through, and that you can talk to, during all of it, because violence is never okay. And don't be afraid to leave. Don't be afraid to start over. Don't be afraid to make a demand on yourself, because you can't make a demand on the narcissist. Make the demand on yourself. So at no point is violence okay, and you should not stay, because sometimes it's your very life that depends on it, or the life of your children. And even if your children are watching and they may not be getting actually physically attacked, they're watching, and that affects them emotionally as well as psychologically. And we don't want to raise children who have to recover from their childhood. So do what you can. And sometimes it does feel like you're totally hopeless or helpless, but do what you can to move, because you have more strength than you know. And when you start taking those first steps to get out and be free, everything else will line up. I'm telling you, everything will line up. No, it's not always going to be easy, but it will, things will work out in your favor, and you have to trust that. Okay, so that was a brief deviation, but anyway, their entire agenda will change, and it goes from, like I was just saying, everything being about you guys, about your family, about you being a couple. Sometimes they talk about marriage, moving in together, just future talk. All of it stops. All of it. The new interest. Another thing is that, okay, they will develop new interests. They'll have new hobbies. They'll all of a sudden have a collection of new knowledge that they have obtained. And this is is because the narcissist does not have an identity of their own. The narcissist picks up characteristics, likes, and traits of other people. And they're just a shell. Like, listen, the narcissist is a shell, and all their different partners, parts of them are what make up the narcissist. Like, I know with my ex-narc, he would, around me, he was just like me. And, I'm a certain way. And then when I heard him talking one time, I was so confused. I was like, who is this? Like, I haven't met this person, because it was just like completely a 180 from who I knew. And those were like the signs that, okay, something is up, you got to get out. And here I am. But they have new interests, like I just said, they don't have their own identity. And so they pick up things from different people. So of course, they've been trying to mirror this person, and now they're coming to impress you, to show you how much better they are than you, how well cultured they are, and how knowledgeable. And so all of that is also intentional, to kind of like make you feel bad about yourself, to make you question your self-worth, or just to look down at you, and while they feel superior. No, they're a shell. You are a whole person who can make up their own mind about who they are, who you are, what you like and what you don't like, and what you plan to do with your life. They can't do that. Of course, they become sneaky. They take their cell phones, go into the bathroom in the middle of the night and text away, or, they steal moments. Oh, they may just be distracted because they're not focused with you. And that's where you find they also will pick meaningless fights over the smallest things, like, oh, you didn't squeeze the toothpaste the way that I like it. And something that can be fixed so easily blows out of proportion, and boom, they're gone. Now they have a reason to leave the house. And sometimes they'll also drop hints, because part of the abuse is to make you feel bad about yourself. And so they'll drop hints like, oh, my new friend is smarter than you, she has a better job than you, oh, you should see how sexy this new lady at work is. Those kind of things, they will drop little hints. I mean, there's whether it's money, education, or whatever, they will drop hints just so that you know. And this is, again, that's where they're messing with your mind, but you have to be strong in who you are, even if you don't feel like it. If you are hearing me right now, believe that you are stronger than that person who is talking to you and telling you those things, and even about the person that they are talking about, because you're a step ahead. You know exactly who they are, and what you've been through, what you are going through, they will go through too. It's just a matter of time. So you find that they're very busy, and sometimes they become stressed, sometimes they even become depressed with the weight of all the lies that they tell. It just really depends. But when the new supply is busy, that's when that's when the narcissist will free up time for you. And sometimes they'll even take their anger or frustration out on you, simply because the new supply is busy and doesn't have time for them. One thing that I said a little while ago is that you've got to trust your intuition. If it quacks like a duck, it's a duck. It's a duck. If it walks like a duck, it's a duck. So if you're feeling that something is off here, you've got to trust your intuition. That's God's voice in you. You don't need your intuition does not require any evidence. That's him speaking to you, and you have to trust it that something is not right here. And just pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to the signs, and at all costs, honor yourself because you're worth it. So that's how I would answer that question. I don't know how you feel, what you would add to it, but let me know in the comments, and I look forward to chatting with you then. Until next time, take care of yourself and take care of each other.